What's up guys, it's Edwin, and in my last video I showed you guys examples of how some influencers manipulate their fans and asked you if you were interested in a sequel because there was definitely more to that story. Some commenters were upset that the influencers I used as an example happen to be people I've known in my past and have exposed in my past. Some saying they don't want to watch videos on those people anymore, so I hope they didn't click on this one. A few people told me to stop because it makes me look bad, but honestly, if it came down to choice, I'd rather look bad than give these people a pass. Just because I exposed ABC, I can't expose X, Y, and Z? Either way, there was a much larger demand for part 2, so here we are. If you haven't watched part 1 yet, I strongly suggest watching it. It'll be the first link in the description down below. But just to quickly summarize it, an Instagram influencer with nearly 200,000 followers convinced one of her boyfriend's biggest fans to make a video defaming my girlfriend Mina. Dasha coached Lettie on how to present herself on video as well as what to say on video, while also insisting that Lettie say that Dasha had no involvement in the video.
Mention that I didn't ask you to do this video, that you're doing it because it's your perspective and that you feel it's like not right or whatever.
Lettie ended up removing the video and ultimately feeling used over the entire experience, so she tweeted that she would no longer be supporting its baby Dash. And the very same day that Lettie tweeted that, guess who just happened to be very concerned and sent in a voice note to Lettie? I can hear you guessing. You guessed it right.
Hey Angel, I wanted to check in. I miss you very much. I haven't talked to you. Do you like the music in the background? It's the music of Edwins people. Oh god, that was racist, I'm sorry.
Unfortunately for Dasha, Lettie did not want to be lured back into constant negative talk and jokes about me and Mina, so Lettie hit that block button. Then the next day, guess who messaged Lettie some psychologically abusive walls of text? The YouTuber boyfriend, Vincent Cyr. Real quick, I almost forgot to say, but Lettie actually asked permission from Cyr to use some screenshots, and he actually went ahead and say, absolutely Lettie, your input on this entire situation is significantly valuable. So as you can see, he's definitely influencing her, saying, yes, please go ahead and do this. Well, I would love to hear what you have to say. Additionally, even before her and I started dating, even before she even flew out here, when we barely even knew each other, and when she was coming out here for work and conveniently booked her Airbnb next door to me, even before all that, she would give me shit about hanging out with girls that were blatantly friends and accusing me of being sketchy, like as if she owned me before she even knew me.
Okay.
Damn, that's loaded, girl. You were like that?
I'm about to, I'm gonna be queen of receipts.
Oh, sure, you got receipts?
Now. We already talked.
Sorry. Well, first off, why is he quoting work? Like modeling is a weird thing.
Yeah, right? He's like, work, like I wasn't there for work. Like I literally told him I was there for work.
And why is he so pressed about you making an Airbnb next to him? I mean, you were going out there to visit him,
I was
right?
going out there to visit him, but at the time I had a manager and he was the one who like did everything.
Right. Work and
yeah.
A little bit of having fun with the guy that flirted with you for months. But anyway, I guess he's really pressed about that. And the big issue here is that he's upset that you used to give him shit for talking to other girls and being sketchy.
Right. So around that time, which was in 2016, I was talking to him since January. And obviously I wanted to know like who I meet in because we already both knew we were gonna like get together when I was there. So I was like, okay, let me make sure this guy is a good person to meet because I'm not just gonna meet some random guy who lives across the world and not know anything. I think I found Taylor through Twitter is because somebody retweeted her, and so I was like, let me go through her pictures, and I was like, oh, she's cute. But then I started finding these screenshots. If you come here, I will take you to the best places to get the best coffees and people watch and have the best conversations regarding something existentially motivated.
This is something he said to you exactly?
He said this to me exactly, and that's the way I found out, and like just the way he was talking as well. Like he also said, P.S. you ain't some girl, I talked about you. And he literally said that to me.
he would like brag about like, hey, I talked to you about you to other people?
Yeah, he I think it was like other people's like, P.S. you ain't just some girl, I talked to you about you to my friends. And I was like, cool, okay. I felt so special. And I looked at this, I was like, what?
It's so funny because like a couple other girls told me the same exact thing, but I'm not trying to bring up those receipts right now.
I was talking to him since January.
Okay, yeah, but you don't own him. You're not dating yet.
I don't own him. However, this is a text to me which literally says, okay, I talk about you with my closest friends. I'm not a F-boy. They know what's going on. They know where I'm going. And I'm just like, okay, Vincent, okay. And he's like, they know I'm texting about this. My friends are good people and so am I. honestly, if I were in your position, I would be a very bitey fox about it, which I assume means like I would be angry.
Because were you confronting him? Is this you saying, hey, are you talking to another girl?
Right, yeah. So I was like, oh, by the way, I've seen these screenshots. Look, I don't want to get into anything. I'm not interested in having like some drama. And at the time I was just like, I want to be safe, you know, like I don't want to like get into some crazy thing, like me sleeping with him and her sleeping with him and all this mess that could have happened.
He told Taylor that you ain't just some girl. He said the same thing.
After he told me like, oh, you're not some girl, he ended up like meeting with her anyway and like doing all these things, and I was just like, look.
Like Taylor tweeted the receipts.
So basically, I had like a big FaceTime with him, and I told him, I was like, look, I'm not interested if you're gonna be like this. I was never trying to control him. I was just trying to make sure that like I'm not getting into any weird stuff.
And here's the thing: if she was so calling him out for his shit, which obviously rightfully so, because he was being promiscuous, then why would he insist on hanging out with her and dating her afterwards if he felt so strongly against her?
Right.
Or is it now conveniently that he's anti-Mina because of his girlfriend that he has to act like so strongly against her?
And honestly, I want to add something else. He was really really disrespectful to Taylor when everything happened.
What he said to Taylor?
So when he realized he got kind of, I think he got mad at Taylor because Taylor ended up finding out who I was, and then obviously she was upset because she was like, oh, there's another girl. He was sending me screenshots of what she was saying to him about like how she has depression and all of her like life story. And he just sent it to me, which obviously I don't need to read. It was just her apologizing for being rude. But because obviously when she found out, she was kind of rude to him, rightfully so. But he showed me all these things of her saying sorry and opening up, and I just thought that was really bad of him.
Now, when I say Lettie was a huge fan of Cyr, I mean she was like a super fan. She has painted him, she's tweeted about how he looked like an angelic 50s bad boy, she's made video edits of him, she's even posted a picture of herself with a bunch of pictures of him on her forehead. So just before I start reading the messages, I want to say how proud I am of Lettie for standing her ground and standing up for herself against her favorite creator. Before shooting this video, I went over the messages out loud, and Mina heard how ridiculously like manipulative they were, so she wanted to chime in on some of the things that were being said.
Hi.
Let's begin. Lettie, how can you think that Dasha manipulated you? She literally hadn't forced you to do anything. She was only asking for help. She honestly even asked me if you should upload the video because she was worried about the hate you'd get. And I said it's up to Lettie if it helps. Dasha cares about you, Lettie. I don't understand how you can swap so fast like this. You understand her mental health. Please don't do this. I'm genuinely worried for her. I'm sorry you feel this way, I really am, but I know as a fact that Dasha really does care about you. She literally shows me all the photos you upload and how you inspire her makeup. You don't see what I see.
What he just said there is, I'm pretty sure something that he said to me in the past when Dasha has acted a certain way, and then he's had to like talk for her as if to be like, I'm sorry she's done this. She tells me that she loves you so much and she wants us to be a team and all of this. And I'd be like, okay. Like, that doesn't excuse what just happened.
Right.
And he doesn't really bring up anything. He's just like, she loves you, dude.
You don't know her like I know her. She loves you. But everything about this is so dismissive of Lettie. It's all me, not actually asking, why are you no longer supporting? Like, it's just like, she loves you. Don't do this to her. Lettie says, and you understand my mental health. This whole thing has taken such a huge toll on me. Even if I didn't think she manipulated me, she has been asking me to make a video for over a year. It's still taking a huge effect. I just want to be out of this now. I understand if you want to block me, I just can't do it anymore. I can't be here just for someone to complain about stuff to. When killed himself, I had to message her more than once over nearly a week when I thought she was the only person I could talk to. I feel as though my only purpose is to bitch about Mina and Edwin with her. I can't do this anymore. I know our friendship will heavily involve this drama no matter what. I love both you and Dasha, but I need to be out of it. But why do you have to talk about it if it's private? So I think here he's referring to her tweeting about it publicly, you know, that she no longer wants to support them. Friends reach out to each other, and sometimes they're available and sometimes they're not. Sometimes they're not strong enough. I understand it's your mental health, but I honestly don't think she was manipulating you. I'm telling you, Lettie, she loves you. You can't do this to her. Even if she had a falling out, she would never do this to you. Lettie, please at least talk to her about it. Please communicate and be honest with how you feel. You can't just throw everything on the internet even before a discussion. Of course she went to you for help because she didn't know what else to do.
I haven't thrown everything on the internet. I've said that I no longer support her because I kept getting question after question daily.
I'm sorry, I just read your Twitter. Now, what this tells me is that The only reason that he ever even knew that she had even tweeted anything or said anything publicly was because Dasha obviously told him. Otherwise, how would he have ever known, you know? And then she showed him a bunch of anonymous questions that she didn't even answer. She didn't post these online. She was just showing him how much she was getting grilled over the video and stuff. Of course, those are anonymous people just hiding behind computers, Lettie. Dasha gets tons as well, even from companies. You literally have no idea who the hell those people are. It's likely a group chat. If you cave under that and literally join them, that makes their harassment valid. It's interesting how he minimizes her harassment, but is this what he tells his girlfriend as well? Like, ignore the internet trolls. Like, if you let it affect you, then you're making the harassment valid. Like, what kind of thing to say is that?
I was showing you why I explained myself on Twitter.
I understand, but that's likely the same, if not the same few people in a group chat doing targeted hate because they know you're on a smaller platform to defend yourself.
I just don't want this anymore, Vincent. This isn't my fight. This is wearing me down. She has other people to support her, like Dee and Petra and Olivia and others. I'm tired now. I'm sorry. You've been so sweet to me the past 3 years, but I can't do this anymore.
I want you to know that Dasha did ask me many times if you should upload the video because she was concerned about you getting hate. I assumed you were doing it because you felt you needed to, and that's what I said. He's trying so hard to get rid of that guilt that's on him and Dasha by saying, we only told you could do it because we thought you felt like you needed to do it. I want you to know Dasha does care, and considering she's dealt with this for so long, try talking to her about it because she's getting stronger with it. She literally just told you that she doesn't want to talk to her about this kind of stuff. I've been on the internet for 12 years, Lettie. I've dealt with lots of hate. It takes time. So I'm telling you, this shit does wear you down. Lettie's not a YouTuber. She's not an internet personality. There's no reason why she should be getting hate for your actions. Just because you've been dealing with it for a long time, how can you expect one of your fans to deal with it for you? That's so ridiculous. I'm not asking for your public support. I'm asking you literally as a friend to reach out when you're having a hard time. We don't have to ever talk about drama, ever. Just say that, we'd know. Once again, blaming Lettie. It's her fault for not telling these people that she admired that she was feeling kind of used. Especially when Dasha was complaining about her, how depressed she was and everything. But in any situation, if you ever need help, you know I'd be here to text you at 6 a.m., which I have done.
Honestly, Vincent, I think she wanted me to make the video all along. She used to tell me to make a video all the time. She'd tell me what she wanted me to add in, and she wishes I'd said this and that. I'm sorry, Vincent. This whole thing is toxic. Mine and Dasha's friendship is toxic.
What else was she to do? She literally had nobody to help her. Nobody? Not even you? Like, you can't help your own girlfriend that you rely on a fan? This is mind-blowing. Like, you're telling your fan, like, well, what else was she supposed to do? Get help from me? No, you were the only person that was there for her. I mean, I don't understand.
It's also weird because literally before that he was saying like, I don't think that she's manipulating you, and then he goes ahead and manipulates her.
Basically, that is psychologically abusive. Like what he's doing right there to someone that admires them and saying like, you're wrong. How could you? Like, it's shaming them to the core. Like, he does not want to listen to her. She can't make her own video. Wait, why?
Yeah, why?
Why? She assumed you wanted to speak out just as much. I'm telling you, Lettie, 100%. She wouldn't have asked you to do it if you said it made you uncomfortable. Damn, Lettie, if only you had to express yourself. More shaming. She was asking for help out of being terrified. Why don't you take care of her? Why do you rely on fans to defend your girlfriend and then literally rage and shame them because they no longer want to do it? I've had several YouTubers ask me if they should make videos about it, and I did talk to them about it, but eventually I told them that I didn't want to get them involved.
Why is he capitalizing several?
Yeah, why is he capitalizing several YouTubers? I think he told the YouTuber friends no because they would have been torn apart, and not even by me. I mean, sure, I would have had fun, but mostly by the general public, because this is a very black and white situation. You guys are abusive people. And yeah, you're abusive people. That's a black and white. It's simple.
So he's basically saying, I could have helped my girlfriend, but I chose not to.
Yeah, because you were gonna do it for everybody else. I'm the one that is with her all the time, and I'm telling you, Lettie, she genuinely thought you wanted to help and that you felt the same way, so she trusted you to talk about that because it did help. You genuinely really did help her, and she was also upset when you got hate. Now, are you sure she was upset because Lettie got hate, or was she upset that the video did so poorly because it was defaming Mina, like trying so hard to make her look bad when all it did was make Lettie look really bad and petty? Like, Dasha and I live with very normal people. They interact with her on the daily. They love us. Nobody in our real life who know us would ever call her manipulative. Definitely got some Donald Trump vibes there.
People love me. And you know what? I've been very successful. Everybody loves me.
She literally reached out to you because you were the one friend who felt similar. Damn, you don't even feel similar to your girlfriend. Woo! You have to understand that when people are afraid, they do rash things. I'm assuming that's how you rationalize for a lot of her abusive actions. I'm sorry you feel this way, I do, but just know that I know, and if you value my opinion in any way whatsoever, or you know that I'm not an idiot, holy shit, that was 100% not her intention.
He's like manipulating her to the max.
Right, seriously, it's basically saying like, if you respect me in any way, and you know that I'm not an idiot, which I'm not, then my girlfriend is not manipulating you. Well, I strongly disagree, so I guess by your logic, you are an idiot? Right? That doesn't change the way you feel, but that's why it's important to tell someone if you feel that way so things can get fixed. That's how friendships get stronger. Suddenly I feel like I'm watching a kid's show and he's like telling a really important life lesson.
He's giving a lot of free advice away. Like, he should be charging for this.
That's why I tell my roommate to stop smoking in the bathroom so a resentment doesn't fucking build.
Why is he swearing at her? He obviously still has resentment towards that roommate.
You've helped me a ton, you really have, and you've helped Dasha loads. I only wish you felt the same and know that I'm genuinely sorry about that. I wish you were on their same wavelength, but you're just not. I'm sorry about it. Just please, don't let anonymous hate change your values as a person. If I let that happen to me, I would have failed a very long time ago. Don't become the product of people you don't know. Ever. He's really minimizing Lettie to this person that is only changing her mind because she received hate and not because she could have seen what's really going on and what toxic people they are. Yeah.
I've dealt with anonymous hate since I was 13. I've dealt with bullying my whole life. This is not what has changed my morals.
I understand you're upset. I'm just trying to communicate. I'm sorry.
I love that he's like, I'm just trying to communicate. No, he's not. He's like drowning her with
exactly.
manipulation.
He's literally like just like wall of text after wall of text. My opinion is better than yours. Constantly what he's saying. He's not really hearing her out at all. And this is the last message. Are you ready to read this?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
I've been talking to people about this. What's the point in fighting when I know Dasha is in the wrong? I know Dasha shared Mina's passport. She told me. I know she deleted her Insta. I know she's done a lot of bad things. I know Mina has too. Excuse me.
We're gonna have to talk about that later, huh?
I just want this to be done. I should have stopped talking to everyone when this drama happened. What's the point of doing all of this to receive nothing back? No offense, but what good has come of it? Dasha doesn't stick up for me against anyone. She offers me followers. I've fought against so many people for Dasha's sake and received nothing back for it. I'm a people pleaser. Appreciation is sometimes enough, but it's not in this case. I am sorry. I'm going to have to block you and Dasha from my life. I'm sorry for everything. Thank you for the past few years. Look after each other. I'm honestly really proud of Lettie because I know she's been such a stan for so long, and when you are a stan, you always you have this infatuation with the person, and it's really hard to break away from that. And seeing all these messages is it's nice.
To message someone directly on WhatsApp, you have each other's phone numbers, so she eventually got that phone number. She had that direct access. Some people in my previous video thought that the messages I showed in that video from Cyr could have been Dasha herself, since she's been in his phone and Mina's phone as well. But no, trust me, and it just doesn't sound anything like her. She messes up all the time in her text. She capitalizes random letters and has bad grammar. And
they just both have a different way of talking as well. It's really easy to see the way he's speaking because he used to speak to me like that, but in real life.
Exactly. And the way he texted me when I first left was exactly the same way. Anyways, a couple weeks go by and Lettie received some messages from an account called Baby-Closet. Now, the reason why I believe that Dasha is very manipulative is because whether you believe that this account is Dasha or not, this account claims to have seen screenshots and voice notes from Dasha and Lettie's conversation, and she messages Lettie to taunt her. She says, "And Dasha didn't ask you to film a video. There is actual proof for that. An entire screen capture with voice messages from you. Maybe she asked you a year ago, but not later on, and I have proof for that. And there is also a screen capture of you mocking Edwin and Mina. Oh, so Lettie used to mock us when she didn't like us." I don't care. She also said that she can help you make the video. She didn't lay out a script for you. She just told you how you could change things up. And she shows a screenshot from Dasha's side of the conversation. Isn't that interesting? Even in the case that this is not Dasha hiding behind a closet fan account, this is still Dasha giving one of her fans all this private information to taunt Lettie. How can you side with someone who lies about you? I am not Dasha, but I did talk about her. What's with you people thinking everyone who isn't siding with Edwin and Mina has to be Dasha? It's kind of a meme because Dasha makes so many fake accounts, and this one sure sounds a lot like her. Like so many of the accounts that defend Dasha sound just like Dasha, so That's the explanation of just jokingly calling Dasha minions or fan accounts Dasha. But the entire conversation is just full of intimidation tactics and just overall shaming Lettie. Now this Dasha closet account may not actually be run by Dasha, but they still obviously talked very closely to Dasha and were sent lots of personal screenshots by Dasha, and they heard all the voicemails from Lettie to Dasha. Some weeks go by, Dasha is still blocked, so she decides to write Lettie a very intense email. She says, "Dear Lettie, fear not. This is the last time you will ever hear from me." If you're anything like me, you probably got a panic attack just reading the name of the sender of this email. It's your choice if you want to read this or not. I was messaging you earlier on WhatsApp when I saw that your picture was gone, so I assumed you were possibly taking a break from the internet. So I checked your Instagram to see if you were okay and saw that I wasn't following you anymore. And since I do not recall unfollowing you, it must have meant that you blocked and then unblocked me. Wait, it really took you a week and a half to realize that she had blocked you on WhatsApp and then soft blocked you on Instagram? And then someone informed me about you leaking a private voice message that I have sent to you. Just to get things clear, I am not sending you this mail to convince you to be my friend again, because that might be the last thing in the world I want right now. I do ask that if you have any respect left for me, and for the sake of you knowing what it's like to struggle with depression, to not publish this email. Well, I guess you have your answer that she has no respect left for you. And stop using your depression as a shield. Like it's all you do. You pity yourself and you victimize yourself to justify all your actions. Depression doesn't make people do what you have done. I think you are aware of the fact that I only ever truly asked you to make a video about Mina once. Oh, sounding like her closet all of a sudden. I think you also remember that time being the peak of my anxiety, and that was the only reason that I asked that of you. The second time, you came to me with that idea and I advised you against it. Me clearly saying that you shouldn't make a video since I wouldn't want you to receive any backlash. Is that how it went?
Do you have any proof? I don't want you to get attacked. If you really want to, I owe you big time, but I would never pressure you. Proof and organized story.
Whoa, that was like reading a split personality. Like, you should do it, but it's not on me, okay? But do it. I'm not trying to pressure you. Do it. Once you decided on your own that you want to make a video, I merely gave you instructions on how you could change it up and talk about it in a different way, etc. I never pressured you into doing that. You know that although I sent the passport around sometime in 2017, what the hell? You did in 2017 and this year? And neither did I post those supposed nudes, pictures you have claimed to have seen on her old Instagram. You posted those?
I never even posted those pictures on Instagram.
Yeah.
She's taken them from my phone.
Nobody else had those pictures. Like,
I never even posted them. They're literally like outtakes.
I am honestly really surprised. You, out of all people, you know about the kind of person that Mina is. Oh shoot.
Oh, a very cute, nice, sweet person.
Yes. You who felt Edwin's manipulative narrative on your own skin, you should know about the way he twists his opponent's words. Girl, I'm showing all the words. I always come through with the receipts.
You said that!
I like to twist your word.
I think you were just trying to look out for yourself after receiving backlash. I don't mind that. You see, Vincent never told me that you talked to Edwin. I heard about that for the first time today. What?
It's so weird because they both like manipulate in different kind of ways. Like Cyr tries to make Lettie feel sorry and feel like she's doing something wrong, and then Dasha's kind of like got this like weird kind of scary tactic. Like,
yeah, this
I
is
just
really
found out
intense.
this today.
Vincent never told me that you talked to Edwin. Why would he? What does that have to do with anything? That's so strange. Dasha strongly believes that Lettie is so weak-minded that she only changed sides because she received hate and not because she has a brain of her own. I know I have done things wrong and I have always been willing to admit that. Really? I've never heard of you admit any of your wrongdoings. Except, of course, in private when I'm exposing it. Otherwise, I'm still waiting. If you truly wanted to stay out of it, like you said to Vincent, I don't know why you felt the need to throw me under the bus. You know that legally, I have every right to report the video with false claims and defamation of my character. Oh, so right here she's talking about why she's totally okay with flagging my videos. So I am wondering, what made you do it? Have you forgotten that you have been through this with me since day one? That you reported the video, not just because I asked you to do it, but because you, as a person, knew it's bullshit and wrong? My videos exposing her are wrong. You did it because you knew it was wrong and because you know that most of the shit Edwin says are lies. How come you never prove it? And how come my lies are backed up by sweet, sweet evidence? But if you truly believe what Edwin says is true, if his narrative about everything that happens is true, then the same narrative about everything that happened between you and Mina, told in his perspective, must be true as well, no? You have no idea what hearing about this today did for me, and I hope you will never get popular enough for someone who wants attention or views to take advantage of that fact and make up lies about you. I hope you never become popular like me so people don't have to take advantage of the fact that you're popular like me and make videos about you just for views. Not every popular person gets exposed for being shitty. I would never want anyone to experience what I am experiencing. I would never want you to feel that kind of hopelessness and loneliness. No hard feelings though. Take care. Dasha. Classic cartoon villain, man. In the Real Dasha Part 2, I shared lots of screenshots and testimonials from Charlie, a former fan that Dasha had cut off because Charlie was no longer interested in being part of anti-Edwin and Mina conversations. So the reason why I delayed the video an extra day is because one of Dasha's former fans actually came forward and gave me a lot of information as well as screenshots that I thought was extremely necessary for the video. So I'm finishing up shooting that and then I'm going to try to get the video up as soon as possible. And after my video went live, Dasha sent Charlie a lot more messages than just that, "Hey, how are you?" Why did you do that? I have been suicidal the last days and had to seek serious help because he wouldn't stop harassing me. He keeps accusing me of shit I didn't do and tells people I am a Nazi because I joked about Hitler. Everyone knows that's not what Nazis do. They hold tiki torches and fight black people. They don't joke about Hitler. Everything that I have accused Dasha of, I've provided proof for, and I have not called her a Nazi. What I had said was, it's no secret that Dasha enjoys anti-Semitic humor. She's tweeted "Mein Führer" and other Nazi-positive things in the past, and even when I lived with her, she would always do the Nazi salute. I hope you feel better about yourself. You have no idea what I've been through, and I don't want to make it worse or sound like a victim, but I can't take it anymore. I'm not gonna tell you about it because you don't care, and that is fine. I just wish you had reached out to me if it had meant so much to you, but I'm not here to blame you. Truly, I have no energy left to do anything. If you have ever dealt with depression and anxiety, yet even suicidal thought, you know how hard it is to even reach out to your closest friends. I wish you knew what it's like to actually fight depression. I reached out to none of my friends for the longest time. I didn't eat, I didn't even speak to anyone. It's not like I didn't want to. When this happened again, I had a mental breakdown. Dasha kept going on for nearly an hour and it almost sounded like she was bragging about her depression by the way she was being so demeaning and just repeating herself over and over, saying, "You don't know what it's like." And it also kind of sounded like she was just listing symptoms off of Google. I was laying in my bed yesterday, crying and didn't know who I should talk to, and Vincent said, "I should talk to you." And I didn't want to burden you with this shit. So I reached out and I am sorry. I shouldn't have. It's your life and your choices. You know, I will always admit to the mistakes I have made, or at least try to. Once again with this shit. She has never admitted to anything she's done wrong. Sorry, I got a little intense back there. Charlie said to me, Dasha knows 100% how bad Lettie's anxiety is, and I think that's why she worded it more shamefully and intimidating like. But for me, she knows it doesn't scare me, and I have an issue with feeling guilty, which she knows from everything I do for her just to cheer her up. Like she does know exactly what she's doing and how to get around both of us. Anyways, that was the end of that conversation until the next day when Dasha sent a voice note.
You know, I just wanted to ask you something. What I don't understand is why did you act? I mean, maybe you actually felt that way, and then I'm not going to judge you, but why did you act as if I enabled you to, like, make make the Molder boy and stuff like that? I mean, we all thought it was funny, but I was never trying to harass Mina with it. We were, like, making fun of her accounts. I was never like, "Hey, Charlie, I think you should write a fan fiction about Mina. Hey, Charlie, I think you should Photoshop Mina. Hey, Charlie, I think you should do this and that." I would never say that. Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I did say that. But the way I know myself, I would never ask someone to do that, you know? So, I don't know. And I'm not trying to fight or anything. I'm just, like, genuinely questioning it.
Let's explain gaslighting a little more. What does that look like?
Gaslighting looks like when somebody kind of denies your reality. So you might say something like, "I feel really sad that you said that to me." And they'd say something like, "You have no right to say that. You have no right to feel that way." Or they'll say something, you'll have an argument with them, and they will have said something terrible to you a couple of days before. And you'll say, "Listen, when you said," and they'll say, "I never said that." And so it's literally like they deny your reality. And when somebody says, "I never said that," most normal people tend to question themselves.
Charlie says, also, when she's talking about never saying stuff about suggesting me to do things, she did. She definitely did. I just had absolutely no energy to start some huge arguments with her because I don't have screenshots anymore of her telling me to do things, except the ones you've already seen. I just thought it was funny how she's basically insisting to Lettie in that email that she advised against the video, just like she apparently didn't ask me to do all those things. In Dasha's eyes, she never told her fans to harass us. She doesn't try to look like Mina. She doesn't spread lies about Mina to her fans and other influencers. She doesn't share her passport. She doesn't share her nudes. In Dasha's eyes, Dasha does no wrong. People tend to see Cyr as an innocent bystander because he's not as vocal or his actions aren't as bad as his girlfriend's, but that doesn't make him any less complicit for his girlfriend's actions. Before Cyr, who was Dasha? Just a girl who would travel from Vienna to Salzburg in Austria to do small-time modeling gigs and party a lot. Then she flew to LA and home-wrecked Cyr, who virtually gave her a platform online, which allowed her to manipulate his fans. And somewhere in between all that, she became obsessed with Mina and still dresses like her. Like, bro, how do you not wake up and realize, how weird, my girlfriend's dressing up like my ex? 100% complicit. It's apparent to me that both Dasha and Cyr display very manipulative behavior and are probably in denial of it. And despite Lettie repeatedly saying that she had made up her mind she no longer wanted to support them, they both insisted on saying that she was no longer supporting them because of the hate she was receiving. They both used repetition and condescending language to convince Lettie of their own reality. You see, Cyr and Dasha live a fairy tale life where because their real life friends aren't aware of their shady behavior and accept them for what they know, then they don't have to accept responsibility for their wrongdoings and abuse. I feel as though Cyr's manipulative behavior though is more so of a defense mechanism, so it only comes out when he wants to prevent anxiety from surfacing to him, when he wants to avoid a dangerous situation for his personal surroundings. A sort of fear of losing control of a situation. So for him it's more subconscious, whereas for Dasha's manipulative behavior, hers is more actively turned on because she carries very strong narcissistic characteristic traits.
What defines someone to be a narcissist?
It's a person who lacks empathy, who's really entitled, meaning that they expect special treatment to be given to them, but nobody else. They're very grandiose. They harbor huge fantasies. They only want to affiliate with people they think are as cool or as interesting as they are. They're very superficial. They're very concerned about their appearance, the appearance of people around them. I always think of them as beautiful facades with not a lot behind them. They don't regulate their emotions very well. They're very prone to throwing tantrums, getting angry very quickly, especially if they don't get their way. And they can be really hypersensitive to criticism. They're willing to dole it out, but they absolutely can't take it.
And each time she fails and feels shame from being constantly exposed, she's more likely to express her emotional turmoil by acting out. This is called a narcissistic rage and sounds a lot like the fetal position exhibition Cyr described in the middle of downtown LA. And you know, something else that's kind of sad about all this guilt baiting, gaslighting, and manipulating of Lettie is that according to Charlie, Dasha didn't even like Lettie. Dasha just felt bad for Lettie. So Charlie believes that everything that Cyr was saying to Lettie was BS. Now I want to remind you guys that this is fascinating to me. You know, I love psychology. This kind of takes me back to when I was in college. But the course I'm taking happens to be about people that I knew. Like it is kind of weird. I get that. I get it's kind of weird, and some people get sick of it. But I do get lots of comments and messages saying that the videos help them and that they can relate to it. And those messages mean a lot more than the few that stick out saying, oh, Edwin, this and that. Like, nobody's forcing anybody to watch anything, you know? I've had people tell me, watch out for Lettie. She could flip-flop on you just like she flip-flop on them. And here's the crazy part. Before she flip-flop on them, she actually flip-flopped on Mina, because I didn't emphasize this enough, but Lettie was friends with Mina before she just went on this hate campaign with Dasha against Mina, you know? Just look at these pictures they had together. They had a picture with the freaking dog filter on. So my curiosity perked up, almost as big as my hair, and I thought, I'm in London, what if I meet up with Lettie? So I asked her if she wanted to meet up, and she said she'd love to get everything off her chest. And I thought, okay, because that's actually a video I would love to do. I would love to do more videos where I would get a person's perspective personally. You know, we can look at these texts all we want, but the emotion just isn't there. So if you guys are interested in part 3, give this video a like, and I'll see you there.
I think it's going to be good for me to hear her side of everything.